Okay everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're back with the new daily races and we have 3 new combinations as usual. We're starting off with daily race A, so if you do enjoy these videos, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button and let me know in the comments what race you're going to be racing this week. Are you going to be doing daily A, B or C? Which is going to be your preferred choice for this week's races? So we're starting off with daily race A, and I accidentally went over the line, but it wasn't a very good lap, so we're starting from P9 and we get quite a nice start there. P7, I'm not sure whether he didn't have traction control on or something, but we managed to get the jump on the yellow Focus ST. So this race, Tsukuba, everyone is forced to use the Focus ST. I don't remember racing a race with this car, to be honest, but it is quite a common combination at Tsukuba in terms of N-class cars. But yeah, it's always going to be quite fun, this race. It's going to be very difficult to overtake because slipstream is on weak, 1.5 second slipstream. Going to make things very, very difficult. So you're going to have to get quite aggressive as we come through there. We held the inside line. P7 there on the right hand side. Gives us space and then tucks back into the racing line. And we're just there now going to try and find the way past. So this, like I say, is going to be a very difficult track to overtake. Your main overtaking opportunities are going to be into this corner, possibly a late braking move. Or maybe after this corner, if you've got a slipstream to a car that doesn't have slipstream, you might be able to get alongside on this straight. Or even put yourself in a position to go for a move and then maybe get a move done on turn 1. They're really the main opportunities, I would say, on this track as you come through here. If you can get a nice exit from this corner, get on the power nice and early, hug that apex, and then get a move done into the braking. You can actually go around the outside, but you've got to be very careful on this corner as well. Go around the outside that they don't just drive you off track, because in my experience, most drivers will just push you off onto the grass. So probably better to try and go on the inside into that corner. So now, up into P8, following the slipstream train. Now you can see that we're around 2.5 seconds behind the leader, and you're going to get this situation at this combination where it's going to get into a slipstream train, because with the weak slipstream, as we go for a move on the outside here, we're going to try and send it round the outside of P6. Can we make that move work? We can actually do that round the outside of quite a nice move there, managing to hold it on the outside and then taking the inside line for the next corner. So fast forward in the action as we have a little bit of chaos there in front of us, but I think it was just one position swapped over between P5 and P6, and then we're coming into the braking for turn 1. So we managed to gain a few positions off the start, and now through turn 1, as we come down here, we're going to see, I think, P6. I don't know if it's retaliation or a mistake. I think it's a mistake because I think he waits. So as we come through here, he misses his braking, it looks like, and absolutely kills P4. So he stays on the brakes and actually waits for him. So fair play to him. He actually waited for the driver. He knew he had made a mistake and didn't carry on. It looked like an error of braking. But that's 2 positions gained in one corner. A little bit of chaos there. And we're up into P5 in this daily race A. So now it's going to be, can we find the way past P4? And you're going to see what I'm saying. When you're behind the car that doesn't have that slipstream, or he might only just be able to pick up a little bit of a slipstream from the cars in front there, you're going to see it's a little bit easier to try and get make a move or try and get a move done. So we're very close here, staying as close as we can. He runs a little bit wide there. We're going to try and go down tight on the apex and try and get a run down here. But again, he's got the inside line to the next braking zone, so there's not really much we can do here. So I decided to just go to the right, brake nice and early again, see if we can maybe just try and wrong foot him slightly. So go tight here, get on the power early. He's holding quite nice lines anyway, so it's going to be very difficult. But through here, he does run a little bit wide, you can see. And he's very lucky not to get a penalty there, I feel, because he did go over the grass. I was quite surprised that he didn't pick up half a second penalty there. But into the next braking zone, we're very close now. And he also might have had a bit of dirty tyres there, because as we see on the throttle there, he doesn't seem to have the traction. So we've now got the slipstream. I don't think he has a slipstream to the cars up ahead. So we're going to see if we can go for a move. Now, he doesn't go defensive here. I take the inside line and I brake a little bit too late there. I didn't really get the brake in perfect, and we run a little bit wide. We're going to try and hang it around the outside now. He's given us space on the outside, which is fair, and we're going to see if we can go around the outside now into the braking zone. I don't know if he knew we were there, because he did squeeze us a little bit, but we just about managed to keep it on track, trying to go around the outside now, and he's going to have the inside line and be able to just hold onto that P4. So not much we can do there. We're going to have to just sit behind him and see if we can find another way past him. So we are losing a lot of time with this battling, but it's enjoyable. We're having good racing with P4 here, and this combination will be a mixture, I think, this week of chaos, dirty drivers, and some good clean racing as well. You are going to get a bit of a mixture. Now through here, I tried to take a very tight line over the grass there unfortunately, I must have just took a little bit too much off there and picked up half a second penalty. So when we get round to the final lap, we're going to have to take that penalty, and that is going to lose us quite a lot of time. So as we skip through to the final lap, you're going to see we're going to take half a second penalty, and keep an eye on the delta there. We were 7 tenths ahead, and we're going to lose nearly a second there with that half a second penalty. He's going to have the inside line there. I probably should have defended the inside, but I thought with the slipstream it might be better to stay in the slipstream with P4, and unfortunately he takes that position, and we try and get a run on him on the exit, and that's not going to work. So we managed to go over the line in P6. So not a bad race. It's going to be one of them combinations where you can have some really fun races and some really chaotic races. Next race, we have Daily Race B, and this is where we meet a driver that you might have seen, obviously, from the title. Yeah, this was a bit chaotic. So P12 in front of us had a little bit of an issue with this driver in front of us. I don't know if any of you lot have had any issues with P12 in front of me now. Let me know if you've ever came across him before. Now, I don't think he was... I mean, I retaliated in this race because I've had enough of people doing the push to pass, which we've seen so much in races recently. As we come through, we got the inside line to him, but I decided to back out of that. I braked and just backed out. I thought, we're not going to get that move done, so we're going to back out of that. I had to press start there to fix the really heavy force feedback. I keep having to do it. It keeps happening. And again, yeah, very heavy force feedback. Managed to fix it. It felt fine now. And we've got the slipstream to P12. So Megane and the FF cars are very, very fast there. I decided to try something different because I didn't want to follow the crowd and just get in the fastest car. Decided to get the Ferrari out. And the Ferrari, I think, considering I'd only done 1 lap of practice here, I had no idea how to drive this track. Managed to get 1 time trial lap in. Started us P13 in the Ferrari, but the Ferrari does feel like it would be reasonable. So as we're coming through here, we're going to see we're going to go up on the inside and possibly go for a move. We brake nice and early. He runs wide through here. He on the steers over onto the curb there. We take that position, but then he just completely rams us out the way here, pushes us off the track. So I decided I'm just going to keep my foot planted in, and we'll return the favour on the exit there, giving him a little nudge to show our disapproval. And yeah, we take that P12. So at that point there, I knew that this driver was probably going to be a bit dirty after he just basically tried to push us out the way. So we're going to go defensive on the left-hand side, and then we're going to go back to the right-hand side just to try and give ourselves a line. And he's obviously not impressed with us going to the right-hand side, tries to take us out there. We're trying to slow the car down here to the corner. We end up pushing him wide, which I didn't have any problem with, to be honest, the way he was driving. But yeah, we end up losing a bit there to the Audi TT. Gives us a little nudge off the Audi TT, but that wasn't deliberate. I think that was just the line he was taking. So he gives us space on the exit there, and we rejoin in P14. So this is the start of a little bit of a war there. A bit frustrated with P13. He wasn't the cleanest driver. He clearly pushed us out the way in that corner, so we returned it back. And this is the thing, I wouldn't normally retaliate to drivers like this, but I'm sick to death of people doing the push to pass, and with no penalty system, it's getting really annoying now. But we come through here, we've got the inside line. I decide, yeah, we're not gonna back out of that. We're gonna return it back to him after what he did to us, and we managed to take the position back up into P13. And what makes it even better is he actually got a penalty for running wide there and dirty tyres. So a double bonus for ourselves. As we look back in the mirror, you're going to see as we come through here, we take that inside line, we give him a little nudge where he runs wide because, yeah, he did it to us before, and he picks up a half-second penalty, and he also picks up dirty tyres from going wide. So yeah, a double karma moment for that driver there, and he ended up finishing way behind everyone else anyway. But getting back on with this race, we actually had quite a nice little battle with P12 in this race, some good clean racing. And this is the thing, every combination I think that you come to, you're going to obviously have the chance of having a really dirty race, but every combination that you come to on Gran Turismo, you also have the chance of having a good clean race. So this is totally contradicting to what was going on with the Megane. We now have the Peugeot in front of us, and this guy was a very, very clean driver, and we had a nice little battle for a couple of laps here. So as we're coming down here, we're going to get the slipstream off the Peugeot. Ferrari is very, very strong in the slipstream. We know that because of the 7 gears. And we are going to be able to go for a move. Now, he's not going to defend this because he probably knows he'll just get the slipstream back off me on the uphill section or on the straight and be able to go back past us. So he lets us go there. We take a tight line and we're going to work our way up the hill now. But he's now got the slipstream on this uphill section. And the RCZ is very strong. See, he takes a slightly wider line there to try and get himself a nice strong exit. and we're coming through here taking a normal racing line. He actually gives us a little bump draft there, so I don't think he was even going to think about going for an overtake at that point, and he doesn't go for a move on the inside, so maybe he's just trying to work with us and see if he can get us further forward. I'm not too sure. But coming through here, we're still trying to find the racing line, not necessarily the racing line, but the braking points and how hard we can push the Ferrari around here, because this is our 4th lap drive in this track. We did 1 lap in time trial and we're now on lap 3, so not really much experience with this car here, just trying to figure it out. So we're going to go defensive into this corner, and you're going to see just how strong that Peugeot is. And also a very good move here on the right hand side. He actually brakes very, very late and manages to hang it round the outside and take that position. The RCZ incredibly good on the brakes, but yeah, we're now going to get the slipstream back again for that position that we managed to get it before. So let's see, can we manage to get back past him with the slipstream to the Peugeot going into the braking for the tight hairpin. So we've got that slipstream. Going to put it into 6th gear as we just come out the exit of this corner. You see revving out in 5th and then up into 6th, and this is where the Ferrari does kind of pick up a bit of pace. So we get that slipstream. He's not going to defend the game. We're going to go to the right hand side of the track, and we're going to see if we can take that position back and try and get a nice tight apex in here on the throttle nice and early and work our way up the hill. You see he's going to try and go round the outside now, though. He's got the run on the outside, so there's some very good clean racing going on here. He's going to try and hold the outside line. We're going to give him the space on the right hand side, so giving him enough track width there so we can get through it. But the thing with the Peugeot is when you have to put a bit more steering input in, you can't really take the speed because of the front wheel drive. So we managed to hold on to P12 there, and now we've just got to try and see if we can hook these corners up. We managed to do that a little bit better this time, taking a bit more speed through there, and now we've just got to try and push on to see if we can break the slipstream to P13 in that Peugeot. So through this final corner, doing it much better that time, staying in 4th gear and carrying a lot more speed. You can see we've actually got that gap up to 0.4 of a second now, so he's not going to be able to go for a move in this section again. Now, we did actually manage to put a reasonably better lap in, and we pulled away on him on that lap, building the gap over 1.3 seconds, and started to gain a little bit on the cars in front. But unfortunately, the issues we had with the Megane kind of put a stop to any chance of getting involved with that racing. But I think there'll be some fun racing to be had at this track. It's not my favourite. I don't really like the track, but I'm sure there'll be some fun racing to have at that one. So next up we have Daily Race C at Autopolis in Group 2. Now, soft and medium tyres are used, and you do need to use both tyres for this race. So I decided to go into this race with a bit of a different thing. We decided to do a qualifying lap on the mediums. I managed to do 4 or 5 practice laps on the medium tyres, and we went over the line on a 1:34.8, I think it is. I decided we'll use that. I won't do a lap on the softs, and we'll see where we start with a medium time trial lap, because this track, starting from the back, I think it's possible. But I thought, you know, we'll have a bit more fun with this and see if where a medium time will put us. So we started P4, which was I was actually quite surprised. I thought we'd be a little bit further down, but obviously not enough fast drivers on at this time of day. Maybe not the most popular combination. So starting from P4, see what we can do. Now straight away we managed to get the move done on P3. I don't know what happened with his start there. Maybe the gearing or something. He didn't go up at the right point with the gear shift, but we managed to get that position and up into P3. Now in front of us we have the NSX there driving, and just driving in front of him is the GTR by Red Gunter, who we've had some issues with in the past. So it was going to be interesting, would we have any issues with him in this race? But yeah, this is going to be interesting. Can we find the way past? Now we know this track is possibly one of the hardest tracks, I think, on the game to overtake with the dirty air. Now we've managed to squeeze him very tight to that apex there. We're going to take a wide line. You can see as he gets on the curb, loses a little bit of the rear end. That's going to give us a run now into the next braking zone. So as we go through here, we're going to stay to the right hand side, then fake it up the inside, brake late, down to first gear, hold the tight apex, and we make a really nice move there up the inside to put us up into P2. And that driver there was actually on soft tyres, so we're on medium tyres versus soft tyres. So I was actually really happy with that move, keeping it nice and tight to the apex and surprising him, I think, on the inside there. So up into P2, and now we've got to try and see if we can hunt down P1, who is in the Nissan GTR. And Red Gunter isn't the slowest driver around. He can be pretty competitive in Group 2. I don't see him very often in other groups of cars, but in Group 2 he doesn't seem that bad. So it was quite interesting. Was he going to be on the medium or the soft tyre? Now we've caught him up quite fast, but that made me think he was probably going to be on the medium tyre at this point, because I think if he was on the soft tyres he'd be taking a little bit more speed through these corners, because his lines are pretty good. He's just not carrying as much speed. So in the NSX we're managing to stay with him in the dirty air, and now we've got that slipstream. So I was pretty convinced that P1 was going to be on the medium tyres. Now P3 we did know was on the soft, because when we went to the pit stop phase he was on the soft tyres, and it surprised me. So through turn 1 we managed to take quite a nice line there. Now we just got to try and stay with him here. There's not much you can do. You can get into an overtaking move if you get a good exit off the final corner, but this track is so difficult to follow anyone on. You probably have to be, I reckon, 6 tenths to 7 tenths faster a lap to someone to be able to put them under a lot of pressure. So if you aren't that much faster, you're going to have a difficult time to get close enough to go for a move. And that is why you can actually defend at this track on sometimes harder compound tyres than what the driver behind is on. It's sometimes possible to hold them off. It's a bit like Suzuka in the Group 1 race. It's going to be a very difficult track to overtake. You're going to have to try and be tactical with your racing. If you're getting held up, you might want to pit early. Now this is a 12-lap race. In the NSX, I think you can actually do, I think you could pit lap 4 pretty comfortably, and then do, so if you started on mediums, you could probably get 4 laps done and then do 8 laps on the softs. I think it would be possible. Now for the Nissan GTR, you might be able to be really brave and do 3 laps on the medium and then go for 9 laps on the softs. The Nissan GTR is probably going to be a strong car in the race round here, but I do like the feel of the NSX, so we will see later on. We might mix the cars up a bit and try some different ones. I'm not going to do this one on my main account because it's not my favourite combination. I'm not particularly strong at this track. But we've got a nice run on Red Guncher now in the slipstream to that Nissan GTR. Are we going to be able to go for a move? So we're going to pick up the slipstream. We're going to go for the fake on him, go to the left, and then try and fake up the right. He kind of sees that and goes back over to the right-hand side and covers the inside for turn 1. And yeah, there's not much we can do. You can see how difficult it is to actually go for a move. You can see at the moment as well, the driver behind us on the soft tyres is starting to catch back up, because obviously we're in that dirty air to P1. He's on the medium tyres and we are getting held up quite a bit at the moment. I think the pace should be quite a bit stronger than what we're doing on the medium tyres, but like I say, you have to be a lot faster than someone to actually get a move done on this combination when you're following behind closely in that dirty air. So we're going to skip a little bit further on, lap further ahead, and we make a little mistake here. As we're in the dirty air to the car in front, you're going to see we get on that curb and put the power down, and because we have a little bit of loss of aero, we lose grip. Now we're going to have to go defensive now into this corner. You see, staying to the left hand side, and just about managed to hang on to P2. So really important that we did that, because we did not want to let that NSX get past us, because obviously then we would be in the dirty air and P1 would be pulling away, and we're pretty sure that P1 was on the medium tyres. So this will be interesting now, how long it takes to get back up behind him. And you see, as we fast forward the action, we actually start gaining on him pretty quickly. We're gaining a couple of attempts here and there, and yeah, it looks like I was pretty convinced he was on the medium tyres, because I'm sure if he was on the soft tyres his pace would be a little bit stronger. So fast forwarding all the way through this lap, and we're pretty close to the slipstream again now. We're actually around 8 tenths behind, so we're in undercut range now. So if we pit now, we should easily come out ahead if he doesn't pit. And I was expecting him actually to pit this lap, because I thought, Nissan GTR, surely you're going to do a 5-7 divide in that car, because that car's a little bit better on tyre wear than the NSX. So as we're coming through, I was pretty sure if he pitted I was going to stay out. However, he just didn't pit. So I thought, right, we're going to go in the undercut, we're going to go for that early stop, pit lap 5, put the soft tyres on. Hopefully we're going to come out in some clean air as well. So on the pit exit, we see we've come out in some very nice open clean air. So we've got quite a few seconds to just put our foot down and do a nice solid outlap and jump ahead if we can at the pit stops when he pits. So we're going to skip ahead further, and he's in the pits. Red Guncher is in the pits in front of us, and as we go over the line, we can see we've come out way ahead of him. You can see he's only just exiting the pit there, I think it is there. So 2-3 seconds behind us now. As we go through turn 1, he's around 2.5, 2.6 seconds behind. So that undercut is massive at this track. It's such, especially obviously if you're both on medium tyres, if you pit that 1 lap earlier, you can gain 2 seconds on them quite comfortably, because warm mediums versus fresh softs, if you get a good outlap at a track like this that is all about handling, you're going to get a massive undercut. So it's worth doing sometimes. So now we're managing to get very close to P4, who hasn't pitted yet. And as we come through here, I think he makes a little bit of a mistake on the curb, runs a little bit wide, gets some dirty tyres, and really nicely backs out of it and lets us through, because he knows he hasn't pitted yet, and he knew he'd have dirty tyres into this corner. So instead of holding us up, he actually let us through there, which was really nice of him. So big thank you to P5 for letting me through without holding me up on that corner. So now we've just got to work our way through these corners. Hopefully we're not going to catch up these cars through any of the corners in front of us. They're obviously on very worn soft tyres. We're on fresh soft tyres, so that's why we're gaining so fast on them. You can see through here, we're really catching them up like 3-4 attempts every corner pretty much. Much faster than they are at this point of the race. And we should be in P1. I think everyone that's in front of us hasn't pitted. So as we come through this final corner, trying to get the power nice and early, and we're going to go over the line. You see all 3 of them cars into the pits, and that means P1 for ourselves. So yeah, the race after that was fairly comfortable. I expected the GTR to put a bit more pressure on me, but unfortunately didn't really have the outright pace, and we managed to build up a lead of 6.7 seconds, even though we pitted that 1 lap earlier. So quite a comfortable race. We go over the line and take the win in that race. But yeah, it shows you that strategy is going to be very important in this race. Picking when to pit, what tyres to start on is going to be vital. And I hope you lot are going to enjoy the races this week. I'm going to be doing some of these races. They're reasonably fun. I think we can do all of them and have a bit of an entertaining stream. So yeah, I'm going to do it all on my second account. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification button so you don't miss any future videos or live streams, and hit that thumbs up. It really does help the channel out. Thanks again for watching, everyone.